You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodriguez for Black and White Sports. Well, we're going to talk about the WNBA. I don't believe there is a solitary sports league that we have ever seen that is more insulated and more protected than the species that is playing over in the WNBA. We all know the league is subsidized in part by the NBA, or it would not be alive. The league would be dead. And then you enter in the media protection, and in some cases even protection from a platform like the one we're on right now. These players are completely insulated, and everything that this league does takes on some kind of brave, stunning, and courageous cause. I mean, just look at this headline before we get into the main one we're going to talk about. This is Front Office Sports, and you see this narrative right here. WNBA mid-season viewership up 46% on ESPN platforms. What they don't tell you is a bunch of these games were on actual over-the-air free ABC television. So, yeah, there was a bump in the ratings. But when you peel back the curtain, you realize the ratings are god-awful. They're terrible. They're horrible. They're embarrassing for what's supposed to be the women's version of the National Basketball Association. But that's what the media does for this league. They insulate and they cover. We're pretty used to it at this point. Or let us not forget Brittney Griner. Oh my goodness, she was harassed in an airport by a right-wing YouTuber. Now, we all seen the video of Alex Stein simply asking her some questions like, hey, do you still want to boycott America, Brittney? ? I mean, look, the fact is, Alex Stein jumped out there and asked a bunch of questions that we all wanted answers to, right? We know the mainstream media is not going to ask the questions we want answers to. So he jumped out there and tried to. My goodness. But we know there was a media attack launched against Alex Stein, and oh my God, coming out of that was an outcry for all these women that, by the way, fit the Brittney Griner hat trick, the Brittney Griner trifecta, black, lesbian, woman. I guess I should have said woman first. Woman, lesbian. There we go. Brittney Griner hat trick. The entire league is run by political activists that are part of the LGBTQ community. Again, I cannot wait for Swaggy P and for Enos Cantor to come into the league, put wigs on, and score 97 points on you women. For crying out loud. You are women, right? ? So, now, ESPN has done a survey with these really spoiled, entitled political activists in the WNBA, known as their players, and they are come back and they are outraged. They're concerned. Shows a lack of charter flights, security. My goodness, like there is some kind of a crisis in the WNBA right now. Truly, my God. The only crisis is this league still exists that nobody gives a rat's ass about. That's the crisis here. Let's be real. A recent survey conducted by, you got it, ESPN. Do we really believe ESPN didn't know exactly what they were doing here? Revealed that travel and safety are among the most common concerns for WNBA players this season. The ratings are bad. Nobody watches. In a lot of these towns, nobody's attending the games, but they think they should be treated like NBA players. For the poll, ESPN asked 34 players, ranging from stars to reserves, young and old, what they consider to be the biggest issue for the league at this moment. Of those 34, 18 players mentioned travel as their biggest concern. Quote, commercial flights are just insane. Is that a joke? Is that a joke? Wow. Chicago Sky Guard Marina Maybrary, who cares, said the survey, you can't get out at night. Sometimes you get delayed. You can't get out in the morning. Then you have to wait there and wait there and wait there for the bags and stuff. It's an absolute waste of time. Oh, cry us a river. My goodness. So, in a league in which you can only generate enough revenue to get paid not that much money, you're crying about travel that just about everybody in society has to actually deal with on a regular basis. And you get to play basketball for a living. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you've got it real hard. This year's WNBA regular season will finish at 40 games, the league's longest ever. The teams are required to fly commercially for all games with the exception of the playoffs, the Commissioner's Cup Championship, and back-to-back games that require air travel. Trips to Uncasville, Connecticut, for example, are notoriously inconvenient. The town home of the Connecticut Suns isn't a popular flight destination. Connecticut has the worst travel in all the league. Being that we're an hour away from the airport, Sun forward Alyssa Thomas said, it's Hartford, and there's not too many flights from there. And if we want to fly direct, we have to travel 2 hours to Boston. So our travel schedule is brutal. Two players also mentioned security as a growing issue in the league. As the WNBA grows in popularity, profiles of its top players have also increased. Here we go. The consequences of the league's success came to a head when Phoenix Mercury star Brittney Griner was harassed by right-wing troll Alex Smith. Wow, okay. That's awesome, Mediaite. That's great. Right-wing troll Alex Stein. The consequences of the league's success. That had nothing to do with Alex Stein being out there. Zero. What it did have something to do with was the fact that the WNBA basketball player got traded for a weapons dealer. That's why he was out there. And he wanted to ask Brittney Griner questions that, frankly, we want the answers to. You once protested the national anthem. How do you feel about America now? Yeah, you bet your ass after listening to 9 months of Brittney Griner and all that drama out of Russia. Yeah, some folks want some questions answered. They sure do. Quote, our league is growing. Our faces are out there more. So we can't move the same way that we moved 15 years ago. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. The great majority of the people in this league, I couldn't pick out of a million lineups. I could not pick out of a single lineup. Honest to God, to be real, Brittney Griner is the only recognizable face in the entire WNBA. Stop that nonsense. Her and maybe Becky Hammond, who's a coach. Chelsea Gray, I don't have a clue what you look like. Nobody's recognizing you people. Nobody is. Quote, even the players who aren't in the spotlight as much, they're still being recognized. No, they're not. The safety of our players on and off the court is important. It's before games, after games, in between games, at our hotels. I mean, that's literally creating a narrative that doesn't exist. It's crazy. This league is bonkers. Truly bonkers. The media celebrates rating increases that Their ratings went up 46% on ESPN networks, even though we're hiding the fact that some of that was on free network television, which, will automatically raise ratings. That in itself is a false narrative that did not have context in the headlines. You read the article and you're like, oh, no wonder it went up. You went from ESPN2 to ABC. Yeah, your ratings are going to go up. By the way, none of it matters. Your ratings are still trash. I mean trash. Oh my God, we're being threatened and our securities, our security, our lives are at risk. Why? Because you were Brittney Griner, the only recognizable face in the entire league, was asked some questions that I believe a lot of people would love to see answered that the mainstream media has no testicles to actually ask. I mean, Brittney Griner was no more under a threat than anything from Alex Stein. I mean, my God. That's not what the media is leading you to believe. So now there is a crisis of travel and security in the WNBA. All right, whatever. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Are you concerned about the WNBA's travel? They got a flight commercial. Crying SJW face. Trump. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.